to AWS. This is a new section in which we will be talking about S3 and all the things related to S3 services in AWS. I am Sundar Susan and I'll be your instructor for today. So let's get started. So first of all, we should know that what exactly AWS S3 is. So Amazon S3, which is Symbol Storage Service, provide object storage which is built for storing and recovering any amount of information or data from anywhere over the internet. It provides this storage through a web services interface. While designed for developers for easier web scale computing, it provides 99.999999% durability and 99.99% availability of objects. It can also store the computer files up to 5 terabytes in size. So this is basically for the storage purpose with all the benefits which are written. So obviously before AWS S3 there was lack of systems in which we can store the data, and they had to purchase hardware or software components, so there were issues of cost, so that was not at all cost friendly. It was not at all cost effective, and for all this maintaining hardware and software components, they used to require a team of experts for maintenance basically. So additionally they had to pay for those for the team also. They had to pay for the team also. There was lack of scalability because AWS provides scalability and there was no scalability at that time. And if there was data security requirement in the system or on which they used to store the data, they were not that secured. So the issue of security was always there. These are the advantages. These are the 7 advantages of S3. It is durable, it is scalable, it is simple data transferable, flexible, highly securable, simple data transferable, flexible, security wise it is secured, it is highly available, and it is low cost or cost effective. Durable, S3 provides 99.99999% of durability. It is low cost, as S3 lets you store data in a range of storage classes. These classes are based on the frequency and immediacy you require in accessing files. Scalability, S3 charges you only for what resources you actually use, and there are no hidden fees on average or overage charges. You can scale your storage resource to easily meet your organization's ever-changing demands. It is highly available. S3 offers 99.99% availability of objects. Secured, S3 offers an impressive range of access management tools and encryption features that provide top-notch security. Flexibility, S3 is ideal for a wide range of uses like data storage, data backup, software delivery, data archiving, disaster recovery, website hosting, mobile applications, IoT devices, and much more. Simple data transfer. You don't have to be an IT genius to execute data transfer on S3. The service revolves around simplicity and ease of use. Like anybody who is proficient and anybody who has learned the skill to use the AWS, they can easily use this service and and everything. This is AWS bucket and object. Let's talk about AWS bucket and object. An object consists of data, key, assigned name, and metadata. A bucket is used to store objects. When data is added to a bucket, Amazon S3 creates a unique version ID and allocates it to the object. So basically it will create a bucket and then like you can see here. And now we'll be doing hands-on on how to create a bucket. So let's say we'll talk about bucket. So let me search for bucket, S3 bucket. So here you can see S3. You click on this and I have to create a new bucket. So these are the benefits and features, use cases. So you can go through this document also, case studies and everything if you want to learn more. Now I'll create a bucket in whichever region you want. I am close right to this region, so I'll be selecting this. You have to give a special name, like a unique name should be given. I don't know that whether it will go or not. Let's check. ACL disable, just keep it, just keep all this by default, and you can like read all the things. You don't need to like follow my instructions, you can only read all these things. So it is use of access control list. So right now I'm not touching anything, I'll keep it by default. I just need to create the bucket. Now here it is bucket versioning, just enable it because we'll be talking about it afterwards. We don't need to add tags. And now let's create the bucket. Okay, so I think the name is already being taken, so let me think of a new unique name, because see, they don't any name which is already being taken by anybody globally, that cannot be accepted here. So you have to think of a unique name. Just keep trying and see. I think, let me see, my first bucket asset, I think this must be fine. And now no error is showing, so let's create the bucket now. Okay, so my bucket is getting created, and see, my first bucket has created. Now if you want to create another bucket, so just click on the bucket and go inside this. Now you can see that here upload option is coming. So you just have to, if you want to upload the file, so you can upload the file in your bucket. Let's suppose upload, I have to upload something from my desktop. Let's me take it, just upload it. So I have uploaded this and I click on the upload button. It is uploading, it will take few seconds. Now it is successful. Now I'll go and check. See, everything is coming, file size and everything is coming. You can see the details here. If you will click on this, then all the details related to this is shown here. Everything, you can even download it later. So let's go to the bucket now and check in the bucket. So you can see here, if I want to add more file, so I can add more file. Even I want to add folder, so I can add folder. I have created a folder on the desktop and I can create this folder. So this folder is here. There is an image in the folder. I have kept an image in the folder. So the folder, you can see the folder got, okay, it got uploaded. If you want to check, you can again check all the details. If you want to delete it, you can delete it from here. Delete it. It will ask you to confirm the deletion first, because obviously if you have some important data, then randomly you cannot delete it. You need to recheck it, like whether you want to delete it or not. So it got deleted. Let me check my bucket and just delete this folder. So I'll delete this folder. Just keep everything clear and clean. So let's go and check my bucket now. I'll just refresh it and see. So you can see nothing must be there. Yeah, nothing is there. Now we'll talk about Amazon S3 storage classes. So these Amazon S3 standards for frequent data access, Amazon S3 standard for infrequent data access, Amazon Glacier, one zone IA storage class, Amazon S3 standard reduced redundancy storage. So these are the classes, storage classes of Amazon. You must know this for if you're appearing for any certification or anything. So Amazon S3 standard for frequent data access is suitable for a use case where the latency should be low. For example, frequently accessed data will be the data of students' attendance, which should be retrieved quickly. Supposedly, if you are creating a student's data, attendance data, and you have to retrieve it quickly, then you can choose this class. Amazon S3 standard for infrequent data access. This can be used where the data is long-lived and less frequently accessed. For example, if there is student's academic record and it is not needed daily, so you can keep it for a longer time in the Amazon S3 standard um, for infrequent data access, and you can retrieve it later. Amazon Glacier. It can be used where the data has to be archived and high performance is not required. For example, there is an ex-student's old record like admission fees. It will not be needed daily, and even if it is necessary, low latency is not required. So you can keep the data in Amazon Glacier. Now the other one is one zone IA storage class. It can be used where the data is infrequently accessed and stored in a single region. For example, like we cannot put it in a lot many regions, so it is region specified. So for example, this is student's report card is not used daily and stored in a single availability region. That is cool. So we can keep the data in one zone IA storage class. Then Amazon S3 standard reduced redundancy storage. It is suitable for a use case where the data is non-critical and reproduced quickly. For example, books in the library are non-critical data and can be replaced if lost. So this is how Amazon S3 storage classes work. So there is a chart in which you can see the difference between all these classes. Like again, recalling the same thing, but you will be able to understand it more by seeing this chart. So Amazon S3 standard for frequent data access. It is frequently accessed data. It is a default storage class. Can be used for cloud application, dynamic websites, content distribution, for gaming applications and big data analytics. Amazon S3 standard for infrequent data access. It is for infrequently accessed data, demands rapid access, suitable for backups, disaster recovery, and lifelong storage data. Amazon Glacier is suitable for archiving data where data access is infrequent. Vault Lock feature provides long-term data storage, provides the lowest cost availability. One zone IA storage class. It is suitable for infrequent access data. Unlike other classes, this new storage class stores the data in a single AWS availability zone. Data that doesn't require any high level of security can be stored here. Amazon S3 standard reduced redundancy storage. It is for frequently accessed data, reducible and non-crucial data at lower cost. A high available solution designed for sharing and storing data that can be reproduced quickly. So this is the major difference you can see. There is a comparison of all storage classes. You can keep, you can just look at this chart, and you don't need to like learn it by heart. You can just go through it once, and that's it, you're good to go. Okay, now we'll talk about life cycle management. What is life cycle management? In Amazon S3, applies a set of rules that define the action to a group of objects. You can manage and store objects in a cost-effective manner. There are two types of action in a life cycle management. One is transition action and the other one is expiration actions. In transition action, you can choose to move objects to another storage class. With this, you can configure S3 to move your data between various storage classes on a defined schedule. Assume you've got some data stored in S3 standard class. If this data is not used frequently for 30 days, it would be moved to the S3 infrequent access class, and after 60 days it is moved to Glacier. This helps you to migrate your data to lower cost storage, and it ages automatically. Now expiration action. Here S3 removes all objects within the bucket when a specified date or time period in the object's lifetime is reached. So this is the life cycle management in S3. So let's do hands-on. So you'll go in the management, and in management I'll create a life cycle. Life cycle, let's name it as uh, first demo, or anything like demo rule. There is no such rule for this. Okay, apply to all objects in the bucket, and I have to acknowledge this also. Now these are the actions. Move current version of objects between storage classes, move non-current version. So you can see, check the rules, and you can tick whatever you want to keep. So supposedly I have to permanently delete non-current versions of object, or according to my need, I'm just uh, let's delete expire, just tick this one, or just take the first one. Move current version, so you will get an idea that how it will be moved from current version to another version. So you can see there are classes here: standard IA for 30 days, Glacier instant retrieval. So I can keep this for like 30 days in the Glacier instant retrieval, and then after 30 days, if I have to move it, so where I have to move it, so I can move it to the different Glacier flex retrieval. So but after 90 days only will be transferred. Let's see for the 60 days for now. Like here you can see all the transition and expiration actions. Day 0, what will happen on day 30, and what will now create rule. Okay, yeah. So in Glacier it is saying that yeah, it should be at least 90 days, that as I told you, like after 30 days you can keep in the Glacier flexible retrieval for 90 days. Let's make it not 90, let's make it 240 for now, and create a rule. So this is how you can create a rule for life cycle. So you can see your rule is here, demo rule. Just click on this and see. So all the details and everything is shown here. You can like check it by yourself also by playing with it, and you can see it. I'm deleting it for now. So see, life cycle rule, it got deleted. Now I'll go to the bucket policy. Now what exactly bucket policy is? It is an IAM policy where you can allow or deny permission to your Amazon S3 resources. With bucket policy, you also define security rules. then apply to more than one file within a bucket. For example, if you do not want a user to access the bucket, then with the help of JSON script, you can set permissions. As a result, a user would be denied access to the bucket. So we'll do hands-on. Bucket policy is like you have to give the access or you have to give the permission, like IAM permissions we have created earlier. So supposedly I'll go in my bucket and I upload a file. Supposedly I'm just upload this file. It's an image. So I have to give it an access that whether it should be public or not. So I'll go in the permission and you can see here it is block all public access. It is on. So everything is on here and there is no policy to display. So let's create a bucket. Let's go on the setting and take bucket, block all public access and save changes. It will ask for confirmation because it is a very crucial thing. It is a very important thing because it will be accessible publicly. So if your data is very uh, like you want to keep it very safe, so you cannot do this. You have to give the permission to specific people. You cannot make it public. So let's create bucket policy. So here we'll be going on the first I'll check the policy example, AWS policy generator, bucket policy example. So here is a documentation. You can go through the documentation and see at what policy you can apply for which purpose. Right now I'm going on the AWS policy generator. It is a policy generator, and then I'll select the type as S3 bucket. Affect allow, and principal as just take it as star. Star means it will be giving access to all the services. And I will select an action. Let's go down and see get object. Yeah, you can see get. There are many methods. You have to apply this method get object, and then you can Amazon resource name, you can get it from your bucket. So here it is ARN, and after this you can see here, just copy paste it here, your ARN, this bucket you have to access, and then you have to, you can, and add statement. Now add the statement and generate the policy here. Now you can see the JSON document here, just copy paste it, just copy it from here and paste it in the policy and just save the changes. And just refresh the page and see. So here you can see access is public now, like anybody can see the changes, or anybody can access the data inside it. How we can upload a website in our bucket. So let's upload a file. I already had a file, open it. It's a JPEG. It's an image. Now I have to upload it. Now I'll go and check its information here, and I'll go in the bucket first, and here in the bucket I'll go the properties, and it is static website hosting. I have to host a website, so I have to enable certain things. So I enable static website hosting, and here I'll give the name of the document as index.html, and just save the changes. Now I'll go in my bucket. This is bucket versioning and everything. Now I'll go in the objects and in my bucket, and I'll add file of index.html. I think there is issue of and there is spelling error. So let's see, first upload it and then I can change it. I'll change it later on. So it got uploaded. So in my bucket you can see there are two things, index.html and one JPEG file. Now if I have to access this, so I'll go to the properties and this is the URL. I have to copy paste it and see. So you can see there is 403 format error. So I'll go in the management. First of all, I have to I have to give it the permission. Like it should be accessible by everybody. So there is block all public access. You just give the permission that it is accessible by all the people, like whoever want to access it, so they'll be able to access it. So let's save changes and write confirmation. I confirm just to access the data, like everybody can access the data. So just okay, if you want to read more about it, then you can read, everything is written. So save changes and confirm it. So confirm and go in the permissions properties. Okay, permission, you can see bucket policy and everything is there. So no policy to display. Okay, I have to make a new policy again, like I made earlier, like policy generator. Let's generate a policy. Like get object. I'm doing it again so that it will make you understanding better, because here I want to access my data and there is an error coming. So I'll be again generating policy so that it becomes easier for me, or like it for me to publish my website. So just copy here and paste it here and save the changes. Now I've given the permission and everything I've given. Now everything is public. If I'll go in index, like in the bucket, now I have to go in the properties and I have to again copy the link of the like URL. I have to copy the URL, then copy it and again paste it here. Okay, the error is coming. Okay, key, I think key is not matching. Like if you can see index.html, the file name is not correct, so let and re-upload it. Then go in the bucket, so just re-upload it. I think I should delete it. It will ask for reaction. Now go on the bucket, go inside the bucket and upload it again. Add file, yeah, now the spelling is correct. Now upload it and see whether it will work or not. There are some hidden trial method. I'm doing it with you only so that you'll be able to understand it while you practice. So a lot many times what happens that although we are doing it again and again, then also we are having issues and we are having some problem. But people who are really new, then they should know that how to solve the issues. So this was my page, a simple HTML file. So this you can see it has come. So there was the issue of spelling. So it has come like this. Now we'll talk about data protection. So Amazon S3 provides IT teams with a high durable, protected and scalable infrastructure designed for object storage. Amazon S3 protects your data using these three methods, like three or four methods. First is versioning, then data encryption, cross-region replication, and transfer acceleration. So first we'll talk about versioning. What exactly versioning is? It is utilized to preserve, recover and restore an early version of every object you store in your AWS S3 bucket. Unintentional erasures or overwriting of objects can easily be managed with versioning. For example, in a bucket, it is possible to have objects with the same key name but different version IDs. So we'll do hands-on so that we'll be able to understand it in a better way. So let's do it. So let's go inside the bucket and check the properties. In the properties, you can scroll down and see everything is perfect here, like whatever we have done earlier. So here you can see bucket versioning. You have to enable the bucket versioning, save changes. It is already enabled. So in this, we'll see that what exactly bucket versioning is. So let's suppose there is my file, and just make few changes in the file. Supposedly, just make changes. I love reading and teaching, and then just make few changes in the HTML file and save it, and then go on the bucket, inside the bucket, and just in the bucket upload the new HTML file. Upload the new file. So here you can see the file is new. This is new version, or you can say the new file. So if you go in the bucket, and inside bucket you can see there are two files, or you can go in the properties. You can go in the properties and access the URL. Just copy paste it, or you could have refreshed that also. So you can see that this is an updating version. I love reading and teaching. So there's a toggle button. You can see there is show version. So you can see there are two versions of the website index.html, but the latest version got published. So this is how you can find. If I have to delete one JPEG file, let's delete one JPEG file and see how versioning works. So supposedly I have deleted it, and I just have to check that whether my see this page is coming like that only. But if I have deleted that file, and I have to check that whether the remains of those file is there or not. So you can see there is a backup. There is a backup for the file, and you can fetch this from here if your versioning and everything is enabled. So there is you can easily like recover back your data. But whichever, like accidentally we can delete the file or whatever happens, and if you don't want to lose your important data, so you can enable the versioning, and likewise you can get it in the uh, like recycle bin, you can say, or you can get it in the other, in the bucket itself. So now we'll talk about data encryption. This refers to the protection of data while it's being transmitted and at rest. It can happen in two ways: client side encryption, data encryption at rest, and server side encryption, data encryption in motion. So there are two type of encryption. One is server side encryption and other one is client side encryption. So it's a default version. Server side encryption will always be there. In this, what happens if a user is uploading the file in the bucket, then the Amazon S3 will encrypt the data, like encrypt the file. Server will encrypt the file after receiving it. So it all depends on the server. It will be encrypting it after receiving it, and it is a by default function. But in client side encryption, what happens if a user is uploading a file? So it is in the hand of the user that they can encrypt the file before only. Like before uploading it, they can encrypt the file. So it's totally on the client. It is hands that whether they want to keep it by default or even they want to encrypt the data. So there is no security concerns. Now we will talk about cross-region replication. As the name suggests, what replication is. Cross-region replication provides automatic copying of every object uploaded to your bucket, sources and destination bucket in different AWS regions. Versioning needs to be turned on to enable cross-region replication. So it means that within the same region or within in a different region, like if you have two regions and you want like automatically my data which is present in one region gets copied in the other region, then you have to make few changes and then only you can get the data in of one region in the other region, so that your data does not get deleted. And if in case it get deleted in one region, then your data is already present in the other region and you can get it from there. So let's do hands-on this. So let me create the bucket. Let's give it a unique name as demo. My name demo Sundrus v1, and just enable the versioning. I am keeping it as this easy, but you have to enable the versioning here. This I'll ACL enabled. I think I should disable it because my file is not that big. Just enable the versioning here and create a bucket. Okay. Oh yeah, I have to acknowledge this. Block all public access, I have to acknowledge this one. So create bucket. After creating bucket, I will create one more bucket and I will show you that how I can transfer the data of one bucket into another bucket. So let's take it in Asia Pacific and give it a different name as demo Sundus B2. And likewise do block all public access, just let it accessible by all. Bucket versioning, enable it. This is must, you have to enable the bucket versioning and create a bucket. Now if I go in demo Sundus v1 and I will upload, let's upload a file. Let's upload it. Any file I can upload. and just close. It is my B1, just remember it is in B1. Now I'll go in B2 and check, just refresh it. So right now you can see there is no file, like it is not replicated. But for this, if I have to do certain settings, so what I'll do is I'll go in this bucket and I'll make some changes. I'll go in the management replication rules. Here I will create replication rule. So new rule, I'll name it as demo rule or replica, and status is enabled, and where you want to replicate will ask. So everything you can read it here. So apply to all objects in the bucket. Destination, now choose a bucket in this account. Bucket name, enter, like browse. I have only 2 buckets here, so I have to transfer the B1 to B2. Now I have selected the path and I will create a new role. Here there is, you can even create a new role or you can even create the existing IAM role, but here you should create a new role and just make changes. So IAM role, in this they will ask that which IAM role you want to create. So let's say demo role. Now save changes and submit it. No, do not replicate existing objects. You can read it out. It is for the one-time batch operations job, but I don't want to replicate. Now you can see replication rule is here with the IAM role, demo role. It is enabled. Now if I'll go and check in my bucket, this you can see demo, replica and everything is here. You can see the details. Everything is coming. Now I'll go in the bucket and I'll click on B1 first. So now check for the B2 and so it will take few seconds, or you can say it will take some time. So in case I have uploaded one more file, supposedly AWS JPEG, or you can say this one, I had already uploaded it. Now I can see there are 2 files, AWS JPEG and this JPEG. So the file before the version, before enabling the replication rule, it was not there, but after I have enabled everything, so this is like before uh, assigning the version rule, nothing will be copied in the second bucket, but after assigning the rule or creating the rule, if you will copy or you will upload the file in the bucket, then automatically it will be copied into the desired bucket like I've shown. So this is it for this lecture. Hope you like this lecture. Thanks and happy learning.